Hey, y'all.
Hey, everybody.
She knows some extra stuff.
Welcome to another episode of Two Women.
Two Opinions.
With your girl, Marty.
And Taj.
And we back at it again with another one. This big-ass light he just bought is blocking me from seeing me. Can't
that
see
is pretty
me.
big, Quan.
Anyways, hey, everybody. I hope you guys are prepping your food for Thanksgiving tomorrow. If you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, I hope you eat something tomorrow because a lot of restaurants are going to be closed.
McDonald's is open.
Oh, Mickey D's is open for the Mickey
McDonald's
D's lovers
is open,
out there.
I feel bad for them people. They should give y'all the day off. It's McDonald's.
Listen, McDonald's gonna be open, and I feel like a lot of different restaurants. Because I used to work at Boston Market, and Boston Market definitely was open on Thanksgiving. They cater food.
You get some orange chicken, some egg rolls.
Yeah, definitely get you some orange chicken. Oh, they gonna be busting tomorrow.
Oh,
you hear me?
They about to throw down.
But I feel like if you don't at least if you do celebrate Thanksgiving and you don't, unless you move out of town, you just don't know anybody, and you don't have at least one person house to go to, you're the problem.
What?
Oh.
What if you just moved?
Didn't I just say that?
How that's the problem?
I said unless you just moved out of town and you don't know nobody, you're the problem. You gotta have
one place to go on Thanksgiving.
You gotta have one place to go. Your auntie, your grandma, your friend, your co-worker. Come on now.
You have to have one place?
If you celebrate it.
What if your house is the place?
That's different. That you the place.
Okay then.
I'm the place. But I still got places to go though. No shade.
So you have to have outside your house.
Unless you the place. Or unless you just move there.
Okay.
That's the only two excuses.
That's the stipulations?
Yeah.
I feel bad for some of y'all.
That don't got a place. Y'all going to Mickey D's? Anywho.
They can make friends at Mickey D's. All right, y'all. So I got a very special guest and I'm very excited about this. It's my mama. Miss Angela Brock, y'all. You ain't got a round of applause. Quan ain't good with the sound effects. So before I show this video, I got a little speech because that's how we've been kicking it off. Miss Brock is a vibrant soul with a stone heart of gold. She can make you laugh for hours or curse you out depending on the day and her mood. She is a true inspiration of what a strong Black woman is, but most importantly, she is my mommy. Yeah. The woman who has worked multiple jobs, long hours, and went to school longer than I've been alive just to provide for me and my brother. I cannot thank you enough for all the things that you do and all the sacrifices that you have made for me and mine currently. I know at times it seems like we overlook you, but I want you to know that every single day I carry you with me in my spirit. Okay, trying to be more like you, have the drive that you do, the passion that you do. I want you to know that you are my idol, you are my spirit, and you are my fire. I love you so much, and I know I follow some of your footsteps that you aren't exactly proud of or that you wanted for me, but it is because of you that I am who I am. Earlier this year, my mother and my entire family suffered a major loss. My grandmother passed away, and I want you to know that watching you go through that, and as hard as it was, you handled yourself with such grace. Sorry. I'm forever grateful for you. And I'm thankful for you, and I appreciate you, and I love you so much. And I don't say it enough, but I do. I love you a lot.
I love you too, baby girl.
That was beautiful. Thank you.
That was.
Here's the video, y'all, while I clean my face.
I'm old.
Obviously.
She had it on Facebook.
Not the bonnet.
She had it on
barbecue,
Facebook.
and I can't have the barbecue smell in my hair.
Oh, that's okay. I didn't even read the caption. I was just like, she in a bonnet.
I literally wore a bonnet because it was raining outside, and I had just put curls. It was for my graduation from college, and I had curls in my hair. And luckily, the salon I was at was next door to a hair store, and it started raining, so I put a bonnet on. And I wore it around the whole city because I had to stop places, but that's kind of only times for she needed
I got cussed out the other morning because I accidentally hopped in the car to take the kids to school and I forgot my bonnet was on. And Crystal was riding with me. She looked over. She's like, "You really gonna get out the car with the bonnet on your head?" I said, "Yes, I am." She didn't let me. She definitely made me snatch it off.
Thank you, Crystal.
I don't do it like that. I feel like that's just no.
Hey, it was early in the morning. I had got off work like 3 hours before they had to be at school. No, ma'am.
I'd be Nikki Parker for real. Yeah. I'm hurt all day when it comes to the bonnets.
We don't do bonnets.
No.
Not in public. No.
That's the woman that wouldn't let us leave the house unless we coordinated.
Barbecue. I couldn't get my curls. I had pink curls. I couldn't get my curls wet. And they ain't had no poncho in there, so I had to use a bonnet. You need an excuse. It's not just going out and be like, all right, just putting it
I
on.
was asleep.
Some people actually put bonnets on to go outside.
I ain't gonna do that.
No.
That's
But I
crazy.
was asleep.
I've had patients show
I was
up with
asleep.
bonnets on, and I'm like, no, we just wake up. I don't understand.
You
Right.
are also the same woman that didn't let us leave the house unless we was coordinated. Like we had to have a full outfit on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
why
yeah.
I'm. And look, I try not to leave the house looking crazy. Like I feel like everywhere I go in life, she just standing over my shoulder. Like, really, you gonna wear that
I
outside?
love that though. Yeah. My mom didn't play like when you came home from school clothes off, change. We have play shoes and school shoes and go out shoes. Yeah, so I
Yep.
respect that.
That's what I'm doing with them.
You got to, for real.
It's really because of her, though. I feel like she beat me if I let them live like any kind of way. So the first segment is about Miss Baby Girl, because that's what our family calls my mama, and the nickname has now been passed off to me. So we're gonna start from, where are you from?
Oh God, do I have to claim it?
Yes.
I'm originally from South Bend, Indiana.
Ooh, I'm from Indianapolis.
Yes, ma'am. Born and raised.
Born and halfway raised. Keep in mind, I went to California.
There you go.
And was raised actually by my uncle for a few years, for about 8 years, and then went back to Indiana.
So that's my next question. What was it like growing up in a small town and then having to relocate to a big city?
Culture shock. Going from a Midwest, very conservative area to a very liberal, open-minded, different type of environment was very culture shock. People were so free in California. They were
This is
happy
what,
go
the
lucky. It was just so different. Like, it was like, wow, okay. And then when I moved back, I was like, I don't want to be here.
It's a town full of churches.
and Notre Dame.
How would you say having both upbringings from a small town perspective and a big town or big city perspective gave you a different outlook on life?
It made me realize what I didn't want.
Mm.
In a smaller town, you're very restricted and you deal with a lot of people with closed minds.
Mm.
The sad part about that also is that they are some, I'm not going to say everybody and live in a small town, but it's always that perpetual circle. And everybody's like, oh, well, I'm going to do this. Well, you said you was going to do that 10 years ago.
Mhm.
You still doing
The
that.
thing you said you was
You
going to
doing
leave.
10 years ago.
Right.
Whereas when you look at people from a bigger town or a bigger city, more affluent, you look at different, like the whole city is just different.
Mm.
Like you'll go, the poor side of town, the affluent side of town,
Mhm.
but you also are like, oh, well, I know I don't want this.
Mhm.
And so I need to figure out how I need to get over here on the other side.
It's motivational.
It's definitely motivational and you also see different kinds of life, like how people live. Seeing especially African Americans, you see them driving Benzes and you see them driving like different kinds of cars that you may not necessarily have seen in a smaller town. Or if you did see it in a smaller town, they showing the hell ain't you driving it.
What made you decide to leave Indiana and move west?
Ooh. Well, of course, Vegas was not my first choice. Actually, LA was. I wanted to move back to California. However, being a single mom, 2 kids, and certain things happened in my life that I was like, I can't stay here. After the loss of your pawpaw, dad, for me, I sat here and I was like, there's no way in hell I'm gonna keep doing this. I'm gonna keep doing. There was no growth, especially someone that was in the nursing field like me. Yeah, I talked to one of the clinical directors at one of the hospitals that I worked at, and she was like, She was like, oh, yeah, it took 30 years.
Mm.
I'm like, 30 years for what? For her just to be a clinical director over a unit, not necessarily
Department.
of the department, but of a unit.
Mm.
And I'm like, yeah, I can't work for 30 years and not see any growth.
Mhm.
So that was the other reason that I definitely decided that it was time to move. Not only, there was also some personal things. There were a lot of baggage, a lot of hurt.
Mm.
And I was like, okay, do I want to keep doing this? Or do I need to do a fresh start? So, as Uncle Jay kindly teases me about, middle of the night in a U-Haul with a friend and all of y'all that was under the age of 10, we
It's like 5 of
headed
us,
west. Yeah, there was 5 kids. It was her 3, y'all 2. I'm in a U-Haul, and I just threw my resume out there. I didn't know where it was gonna land. Las Vegas called me first. Funny enough, 2 or 3 days after that, LA called. They wouldn't offer me enough money for me to relocate, and the facility that I was going to work at here did offer relocation. So Vegas it came.
I have a question. Sorry.
Go ahead.
When you moved from Indiana to California when you were younger, how old were you? Or like,
I was 8. So I was 8 until I turned 16.
yeah, that was definitely a
8
culture
years.
shock.
Yeah, damn.
That was crazy, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I moved here when I was in high school. So I was definitely old enough to know, like, I was going somewhere else, that it would be totally different thing. Yeah. That's why I was just wondering. Like,
8, yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't know
8.
you were that young. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
8.
big jump.
And
at
8 years, and then to
old.
go back after 8 years.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I was 8. I lived with your great grandmother
Mhm.
from 5 to 8, and no TV. So
Oh, that's right.
yeah. My grandmother wasn't having it, so there was no TV. It was the prayer radio. No gas. She warmed the house with a pot-belly iron stove.
Mm.
I was not allowed to go out of the fence unless I was going to school.
Like
I
that's
was
a child's
yeah,
prison.
like a child's prison.
Yeah,
You got
like-
these sticks and rocks.
And then you turned 8 and then moved to California.
And it was so the decision, let's just say my dad came over, him and my grandmother had words. She said she didn't want the devil box in her house because he was like, the baby need a TV. And she was like, the baby don't need a TV, she can read books.
There you go.
And they went around and around, and my dad tried to sneak the TV in the house. My grandmother broke the TV. They had a huge argument, and next thing I know, my uncle, Uncle Junior, or Uncle Jay, what we call him now, he was like, just bring the baby on out here before y'all
call
kill
him
each
Uncle
other.
Big Pimpin'. And I ain't nobody call him Uncle Jay.
Well, I call him Uncle Jay, but yeah, Mr. Fly Guy, LA.
So what made you decide to get into nursing?
The military. So my career changed while I was in the military. So when my career changed, it was like, okay, well, what do I do? So after that, after getting out and found out that the state of Indiana actually offers like a bridge program. So if you was in the military and you served time and you were in that field, then you could transition. So I became a CNA, and then an LPN, RN.
Yeah, let them know all of the acronyms behind your name.
RN,
Lord.
and now a nurse practitioner. So I have a certification as a licensed practical nurse that, of course, I let lapse because why would I go back?
She ain't going into more hospitals.
And going back to LPN, I have an associate's degree in science of nursing. That's my RN degree. I do have a bachelor's degree, but it's not in nursing. It's in business. And then I have 2 master's degrees. So I have the first master's degrees in health administration, gerontology, which means old folk.
There you go.
which means old folk focus. And then my next master's degree is in science and nursing, which is my nurse practitioner degree. And now I'm in school for my
And when
doctorate.
y'all be like, you work like a Jamaican, that's where I get it from. Now, am I doing that? Hell no. But in my own way, yeah, same energy.
No, yeah, that's dope.
Um,
And thanks for serving. By the way.
yes.
I'm all about the veterans out here. Did you get some free stuff on the Veteran Day?
I didn't, you know what?
Y'all gotta at
Somebody
least get a
sent me.
Starbucks.
My mama be
Somebody
working.
sent me
I know.
a map, and I was like, "What is this?" And they was like, "So what you do is you go to IHOP,
All the free
or
stuff.
You go to IHOP first and go get you your free breakfast, and then you can stop at Starbucks." I was like, "I ain't doing
Oh, they
all
be
that."
planning
My
this day.
wife is-
Like, they
yeah, they
planned
do.
it
They
out,
do.
like-
But Sean's a veteran too, and my dad is too. So I even text my dad, like, did you? Yeah.
No.
But he was like, no. And she wouldn't either. But only thing we got was the Starbucks. And they do it for the veteran and their spouse.
I mean, it's everywhere though. It's you can get
But
free
most of
steak
it is
somewhere.
down. Most of it is dine in, unless you about the restaurant
And
hop. Who's about the restaurant
day?
hop? Yeah, that's crazy.
Whoever made that map, because I
right,
can't see
because they
that.
had a whole
Right.
map, like
No, but if you
IHOP.
are single, you can do breakfast, lunch, and dinner by yourself.
Very true.
With no money on Veterans Day.
Very true, but I was like, that's doing too much. I was like, I don't even have the energy. And then I was like, wait, I got a paper due. I ain't got time.
Right, yeah, no.
Let me do my
Yeah,
paper.
moms be working. So you had me right at 19.
Yes.
19. So what made you decide to become a parent?
Actually, there was no choice.
Say,
In
where's the
matter.
choice there?
But at the end of the day, I don't regret the decision.
Mm.
When it was time to make that decision, there was craziness, of course, all around.
Mm-hmm.
Your granny show in the hill wasn't happy. Your papa was kind of cool. That's the funny part. Like, he was cool. She was the one that snapped. And I was like, wait.
Usually it's the other way
And
around.
normally it is the other way around. But he was actually kind of cool. And we danced around with your name for a minute.
They was gonna name me to Dakota.
Dakota Cordero.
Dakota.
Cordero. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank God. I love my name.
So
Cordero.
thank God you became a
They
girl.
don't tell her what my name would have been if my
Ooh,
mom wasn't cool.
Lord,
If my
no.
mom wasn't cool, my daddy.
Dakota Cordero.
I don't know what
Yeah.
my name would have been.
No man.
Yeah, I was writing it out. It was cute. Good. But you know,
This is the 90s, so you know.
Were
Right.
you in the military?
No, I had gotten out by then due to just marital issues, things like that. So
Okay.
definitely had to make a decision either to get out or stay in. And if I stayed in, I would have had to sign off custody. So
Yeah.
I was like, yeah,
No.
no.
They
Okay.
chose me.
Yeah.
Okay, you are a chosen child. Whether you were planned or not, you still was chosen.
But when she's the first granddaughter.
Oh
See, my
God.
mom was on the other side. She was the pregnant woman, and my dad was in the military. So her choice was to abort me or get married to my dad, which neither one of them was about to marry each other. And so she took the money that my dad gave her for an abortion and went to cosmetology school.
Go ahead, Ma.
Yeah.
Me and my baby.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
right.
she was pregnant with me going through cosmetology, but he regretted it. Like, he was like, well, if you didn't want to do it, why did you...
Because I wanted to go to cosmetology.
Okay, like, because I wanted you to pay for something. Because if they would have agreed not to, they definitely agreed to, of course. But you know, shout out to mom, I'm here. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was really going to get in a lot of trouble.
Oh
for
yeah,
getting her pregnant
Yeah, the
without being
military
married.
does not play.
Yeah.
What?
The military does not play. Like,
You can't be
Because they
unwed?
wasn't married, they wasn't wed, and
Yeah.
they didn't even live together. And
and
that was like,
that's the problem.
Yeah.
That would be the problem.
you can
But
cohabitate.
what does
but you
somebody's
gotta-
personal life have to do with what they do? I'm
Well,
can't
confused.
you can't really do that.
in the military. You really can't.
Like, they can cohabitate. If you cohabitating, it's cool.
Yeah.
But if you don't have no like address connections, that's all all bad.
You can't be out here free willing.
And
Why?
the military just
You gotta use protection. Definitely. And it was
but that's what
worse
you
back
hear.
then.
Yeah,
right?
it was
My-
much harder. It was
Because
much
my
harder.
dad is
and
what,
worse.
like 53, so he was in the military.
in the
Yeah.
early 90s, probably where I
Yeah,
was.
he was in the Navy too. So I figured they had a little bit more stricter.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah,
it was
the military
off
don't
with
play.
my head.
Ooh. But instead she went and cut some heads.
Yeah, and luckily, like they never like found because he never really like he was in my life, but he was away. You know, so it all played
That's
out. I guess, and they
crazy.
would because he could have did jail time for that.
Yeah, the military does not play.
I got disorderly. What is it? Discharge.
He would have got dishonorably discharged.
Yeah, dishonorably. Yep.
For having a child out of wedlock?
Yep.
Yeah, like no
kind of
fraternization.
passive
Like,
aggressive-
officers cannot mess with anybody that is underranking them.
Yep.
That's called
But
fraternization.
why? But I'm confused as to why though. Like, what is
well, it's
like?
well, think about it.
I mean,
like,
the fraternization amongst like people I get, but like them just outside living their
No,
life.
because it's you get
lose
you
focus.
get you one, that's a big reason I feel like, and then two, let's talk financial too, because that child, if you have a child in the military, they get the benefits of you being in the military. And if you out there, you know, and you're not dealing with this woman, it could be a whole situation.
You got
in court.
multiple kids,
And
yeah.
imagine having to go to child support court and you ain't even supposed to be having this child. It's a whole situation.
yeah, he would have been definitely.
And it's
sitting in
a
front of
really
his
bad
CO.
look. It is. Shine in the comments like it's bad because she eventually.
Yeah, yeah,
That's crazy. I did not know that.
yeah. The military don't play.
Heck, she got to braid her hair with her locks. Yeah, her locks when she first and they was shorter. I would have to braid her hair straight to the back so her head can go on. And if
I
she
knew
had
that,
anything
yeah.
sticking out, and even with the law passed though, the hair law that they just passed, they still
It's
like
federal government.
yeah,
Yeah. So hair
they
could not touch your shoulders.
Yeah,
That's
why they got to
crazy.
wear buns and shit.
I salute you, lady, because I couldn't have done all that.
Yeah, and
I
I was
like
this
big,
close
long
to
hair.
I was this close to join the military and straight out of high school.
I went through this phase of I wanted to, but I really didn't, but I wanted to because she had served and I thought it was so cool that my mom was in the military. And I thought like I did need more discipline. I definitely thought that was the bigger
me.
push was like I needed the discipline.
That's crazy.
But
That was me too. Like I
y'all
just
had
wanted
too
the
many
discipline.
stipulations.
Yeah.
So did they come to you? Went to high school here too, right? So they came to your school.
Yeah,
a
they
lot.
went everywhere.
That's why they used to really, and I used to participate in everything that they did. They loved me. Shout out to Charlotte Newton. You know, you always used to look out. But they almost had me. I was on real close.
I went back
right
for
out
it
of
for
high
like a
school.
year and it just didn't happen. I was like, I gotta run.
Right, I gotta do a PT test. That's where they took me out, and then they would wake you up screaming like, "Come
yeah,
on now,
yeah,
y'all do too
yeah.
much."
My
I
mother
think it
blessed
would've
me
been
with a
basic
backside.
training.
I'm
It
not
would have been
running.
basic training. It's not the actual once you get out of basic. I
Yeah.
think it would have been basic training. It would have been like, yeah. Y'all sure y'all don't got no go home line around?
I'm a
this
punt. Yeah, no. Y'all had
There
me
is a
run
go-home
1
line.
mile.
But then again, to think about it, because I was going there for discipline, I probably would. I don't know. I'm the type of person that we be sticking things out. So
We
I don't
do.
know, I probably would have stuck it out, and then I would have been sorry that
I
I'm
get
actually
it.
in the military. Once I was done with basic training, I'm like, dang, this real. How many years I started? 8 all day.
Oh no, see hell no.
I would have been like cool, and then like, dang, I'm really in this, and
I'm
I
not
got to do
doing
PT like every year,
Yeah,
right?
you do PT every day. There's no PT.
Oh
every,
shoot, pizza.
Not doing
No,
it.
yeah, PT is daily at 5 a.m.
Oh, yeah, see, that's what I'm
Reveille wakes
saying.
you up at 4:30. You are
I
out
would
in
have been looking.
formation.
Body would have been
Body
teed
Body
off.
would have been banging. But
Body
no,
would have been teed
no.
off.
No, ma'am. I say cute and pudgy. I'm fine. What stage would you say was the most difficult as a parent?
Ooh, teenage.
Yeah, I figured she was gonna say that.
Ooh, yeah, teenage years. There's many a days. Yeah, I was like, yeah, we're gonna go to jail.
There's a couple days she actually did put me out.
Yeah.
Kind of want to knock
We're
somebody's head
about
off
to go
their
to
shoulder.
jail. Teenage years. Yeah, doors had to come off of hinges.
I went
Yeah.
wild though. Like, let's be clear. I was a good kid that did dumb stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
get in trouble at home, which is, I guess, bad. I got in trouble outside at home.
Yeah, see, no, I knew better than that. I knew not to get in
Yeah.
trouble outside the home. I was getting in trouble inside
That
the
was the
home.
worst thing. I got in trouble, but I know Big Vin ain't played between in the walls, so. But she was like my
keeps-
lawyer. Like she would be like,
What,
"Not my
Reeboks,
child."
White Reeboks and Vaseline in her trunk at all times. Ain't nobody playing with her.
Oh, yeah, nah.
She had
Oh,
one
yeah,
time
nah.
she was done with the belt, done with all that. She one time to really whoop my ass, I was like, I'm cool. I ain't playing with her no more.
Yeah, but I
You
feel like
win.
I don't know. I asked my mom, but thinking back, like my teenage was actually my cool year. It was middle school for me. Like I went to juvenile middle school for fighting. Like the girls came up there to school to jump me, and I fought my way out. They was like, "You're going to jail." The next day, they called me on the speakerphone. Mom was so mad.
Nah,
She
it
was so
teenage
disappointed.
years.
Yeah, she
I
was so
didn't do
disappointed.
nothing like that.
No, you didn't.
But I mean, what am I not supposed to defend myself?
No.
They came up to the school to fight me.
Yeah, no, she didn't do nothing like that. But she just decided her senior year, we just gonna go.
My grades was straight. I would just like to put that out there.
She went through the front door and out the back door when I dropped them off at school. And then the school called me at my office.
Oh yeah, nah.
And I'm like, what do you mean?
I was asleep.
I did that at Mojave because they were
And
shooting. But
yeah, well, she got escorted to class all the way
In a
to
pink
her
robe.
desk. And I was like, you cool? You want your book? The teacher was like, is there a problem? I said, the problem is apparently she can't get to your class.
Oh.
In a pink robe.
So,
With everybody, like she made it
That's
a point to drive me in the middle of the bell ringing, so everybody was in the quad, like everybody going to class. She get out the car, and I'm thinking she just dropping me off. She's like, no, we parking the car.
Oh no, we're going in.
Pink robe,
class.
and I'm talking about my classroom was on the other side of the building.
Oh, so
Yeah.
it was an escort
It was a
like
real
the
thing.
president.
Yeah.
But my grades was straight. I just want to put that out there. It wasn't a grade thing. It was I just don't want to
Attendance matter.
physically
Sean
be
said
here.
attendance matter to graduation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she
Yeah, I found it out the hard way.
yeah. You're going to graduate.
Okay.
And I'm going to escort you.
She's
If you
got-
need me to.
Yeah,
I got
A's
you.
and B's. I'm just confused on why you came back into class. It didn't make no sense, but I was doing the work. I just didn't want to be there.
And
Not
she can
physically.
blame Uncle Fly Guy for that because he was like, oh yeah, baby girl, she going through the front door and out the back. You know, I was like, ah.
I was.
Yeah.
I mean, in a sense, I was. But we was all
Shout out to
ditchy.
Uncle
her,
Fly
her
Guy.
and Taylor.
It
Yeah.
was all ditchy.
Yeah, her and Taylor. Yeah, they both got escorted.
So the next segment is about Miss Angela, and we already discussed like what made you decide to move to Vegas. But let's talk about the things that you do within the community. Like, let the folks know what you do out here in Vegas.
God.
My mom does a lot.
A lot of community service, a lot of health fairs. Definitely want to educate our population, our community on health conditions that affect us. Like at the end of the day, many people don't see us as it is on the other side as providers. So by them not seeing African Americans, a lot of them don't go and get checked out. Had a young lady, her blood pressure was stupid high, and I looked at her, I was like, ma'am, you at stroke level. I should be calling 911 and sending you to the hospital right now. I didn't know I had blood pressure. Really? Have your head hurt? Yes. Vision change? Yes.
Heart palpitations.
So you didn't think
you had
that
something
you
going
just
on?
anxious
needed
all
to
the time.
talk to somebody. So definitely like getting out there to the community, educating them on their health, making sure that people understand that unfortunately Las Vegas is now one of the beautiful cities that are suffering through STDs or STIs as they're now called, and is now a combination of syphilis with gonorrhea.
Get
And
tested.
I'm so glad
So-
I'm married. I ain't gotta be
Yeah.
in these
so,
streets.
you know, having a huge conversation about that. Like,
If you got any community service, I got a wish day that I need to use for this company.
so definitely, you know, community service. A lot of us are out there educating, sending out the word, but I guess I'm like all over the place because as president of Southern Nevada Black Nurses, as well as the founding charter member of the nursing sorority, which is Ada, which is a chapter of Chi Eta Phi Nursing Sorority, as well as part of 4 other nursing organizations. I am very busy. And so there are weekends or days, and I think King Bailey is like being clingy because
That's my
of
mother's
it.
favorite child.
That I'm just on the go constantly. Like there's days that I, like the past couple of 2 weeks ago.
Mm.
I don't think I was at home an entire weekend.
Mm.
Like I had the students, because we do mentor students.
Mm-hmm.
So we do the scholarships for students, things like that. And you do have to be a nursing student. Just throw that out there. But at the end of the day, like mentoring, health fairs, standing outside freezing in the wind, and my hair, yeah, it was a whole thing. So, but definitely out there in the community trying to educate and trying to make sure that we are health literate.
Yeah.
Because that's the problem, is that a lot of us aren't health literate, and then they turn around and like the young
It's
lady
too
with
late,
the
yeah.
elevated blood pressure, I'm like, your blood pressure, if it stays at this, you can die in 5 years. And you in your 30s.
Mm-hmm.
And so she was like, whoa. I also like to put the fear of God in the people.
Everybody.
Well,
She
yeah,
does that
too.
to everybody.
Okay.
Because I need people to understand you need to take care of yourself. You can't take care of nobody else if you're not taking care of yourself.
Facts.
This is the same woman. So as I was coming into my womanhood, right, I got my period for the first time. My mother hands me a little brown book. And after I read the little brown book about like my women parts and how to take care of my women parts, she then shows me multiple photos of STDs. She let me know that this is what you can get if you do this. If you do that, you can get this. And then if you do too much of this, all of this could happen. So, you know, I've known for a very
Child.
long time, like you need to take care of your body. If you gonna be out here giving it away, make sure you keep it in touch
yourself.
with it.
At least.
Please protect yourself.
Condoms
Condoms are free at Planned
Condoms
Parenthood.
are free.
Okay.
So why are you so passionate about being involved in the community? Not just for, you know, us of color, but in general.
I think at the end of the day, for me, it's about just community and building. Because if you don't see me in the community, the problem is there could be other issues, racial issues, racial indiscriminacies, things like that. So my thing is I need to educate so that we are all in a better world. Not just for me and you, but for the kids, for the grands, but just for everybody in general. Like, because we all got to live here together.
Mm-hmm.
And if we're not all living here together, I mean, one person may think of a better plan than me.
Mm-hmm.
So I would rather work together and have that community bond and show that love than to have somebody out here struggling and not understanding.
Yes, ma'am. So you're currently in school. Okay. Again, this woman has been going to school a lot longer than I've been alive, and she just keeps going back. Every time she get a little break, she be like, I'm gonna go back and get another degree. So what are you in school for, and why? After 32 years, I'll be 32 next month, y'all. 32 years, you decided to go back to school.
I'm in my doctorate of nursing program. So it's called DNP. So if you see a nurse practitioner with a DNP behind her name, she went 15 years of schooling. Maybe a little longer.
Yes.
But that's the end degree for nursing. I can't get any more degrees unless I go back and get my
Y'all
PhD.
heard that?
Unless I get my PhD, which I'm really not into
good
a
Lord.
research person. Well, PhDs are mostly research.
Yes.
I'm not a research person. That's just not my temperament. But the reason that I went back is a couple of reasons. As a doctorate of nurse practice, I can do it now, but I would rather have my doctorate degree to do it, to have my own clinic. I'm working with great people right now, even though they test my patients. However, I would like to get out into the community a little bit more. And how can I do that? But to open my own.
Yes, ma'am.
That's dope.
Yeah. So I want to know, who is someone that you admire?
Ooh. Coming up, it was Uncle Jay. Just the way he handled himself, even through his divorce, things like that. And just the way that he took me in. Like, really? You you came all the way from California
To
and to
bring a
swoop
child
someone-
in,
to
yeah.
swoop a child in when you got 3-4 kids of your own.
Mm.
So he was definitely inspiration to me. There is, of course, your pawpaw.
Mm.
Yeah, the Jamaican of the family, where he had 2 car lots. He worked as a police officer, worked at the college.
Good Lord.
Yeah. So, and then try to open a restaurant. Yeah, it was a whole thing. So I think that's where my drive comes from. Like, cause you done came in on many times and I'm half asleep on it like this.
I have seen you sleep with laptop on one end, book on the other, head knocked back.
And then only to wake up and be like, oh, I got to get this done. So, but that was my dad. My dad, he would sit in his, I call it the Archie Bunker chair. So for those that may not know this 70s show called All in the Family, there is this grumpy white man. He always sat in his recliner. And he was just a grumpy old man.
Yeah.
And that was your pawpaw. He would come in the house, grumble about something, sit in that chair for 5.3 seconds. You'll hear him snoring. And then the next thing you know, you'll hear him say, oh shit. And he jumped up and you hear him running in, either changing clothes, either into his uniform or something. And out the door he went. But so he was another of my inspirations. Another person that was an inspiration to me, and may she also rest in peace, is my first nursing chair. Her name was Phyllis Wellness. The lady smoked like a chain. Smoked like a chimney.
For
I
a
should
nurse
say.
to be smoking.
Yeah, like you walked in her office and that's all you
That's
smelled.
an
Was you
oxymoron.
was like, oh my God, okay. But she was the reason that I understood and I respected nursing. And she looked at me because I was thinking about dropping out because there was this particular instructor that did not like me, gave me the blues. And I went into her office to have this conversation with her, and Miss Wellness said, you are going into a profession where you'll be that last person to be thanked and the first person to get cursed out. So if you're looking for immediate gratification and bow down and accolades, you heading into the wrong direction. She was like, now as far as that instructor go, she said, I'm gonna tell you this. She wants you to be the best. And I was like, how somebody hard on me want me to be the best? She was like, think about it. Have you made a mistake? Have you gave a patient a wrong medication and it caused a complication? And I was like, no. She was like, then just do your job.
Is that the woman that you idolized my entire upbringing?
No, that was your granny.
That lady is hard on me, but
that was your granny. You gotta blame your granny for that. You gotta blame your granny. You gotta blame your granny for that one.
So
because Faye Brock was no joke.
Not at all. Faye Brock is no. Even in her later days, she is no joke. She will tell you exactly what the hell was on her mind. She had no filter. And anybody in the room can get it. Okay, you walk by too hard, you can get it.
Maybe all at the same time. Hey.
Yeah.
So what keeps you going? Because you're in school, you are a president, multiple presidents, right? You work at a clinic. Yeah. What keeps you going? And it could be your favorite child, the 4-legged one. I'm not sure.
Oh Lord, no.
He's a very pampered dog.
He keeps me going by exercising. That's about it. No, what keeps me going is my kids, y'all. And of course now the grands, but they too young to even understand.
Right.
But y'all keep me going.
By the time they ready, you'll be done.
Hopefully. I mean, I can always go back and get a certification, but
no. The goal is to get you to not go to school no more. Look, and that's one of my last questions after we through. Like, what's the end goal?
But y'all do. Y'all keep me going because at the end of the day, I want y'all to have something. And have stability. That was something that I always wanted for y'all. And I will continue to work on that because I'm nowhere near perfect by any means. But I always wanted y'all to have stability. So if that means another degree, if that means another certification, I want you guys to have that stability. So when I am no longer here, y'all don't have to want for much of nothing. Because everything else will be falling into place.
I remember that on my birthday.
I'm broke. I'm broke on your birthday, just to let you know.
Just on my birthday? 5 days before Christmas?
5 days before Christmas? Yeah.
My last question of this segment is, what is the hardest part about being a mother, a friend, a student, a nurse, a business partner? You juggle a lot of different hats. So what would you say is the hardest part about trying to give yourself to so many different areas?
It is hard. Pure exhaustion. There's days that I still try to figure it out. I had to come and realize at the end of the day, I can't please everybody.
Yeah.
And I think that was the harder part in becoming who I am today, because I always wanted to please everybody. I didn't always want somebody to be mad. It was like, okay, how do I resolve this issue? Now, I don't care. I'll be like,
she don't.
You on your own. I don't know what to tell you. But the harder part is being pulled in so many different directions that sometimes I forget to take care of me because I'm being pulled in so many directions. Sometimes I forget that I have 2 little grands that I may need to spend extra time with because I'm being pulled all over. So to boil it down, sometimes it's hard to say no. Even though in the back of my head, I'm screaming, I done curse you out 3, 4, 9 times in my head. But then I'll be like, all right, but if I don't do this, what is this going to say about the organizations? Or what is this going to say about my clinic? What is this going to say about my partnership? What is this going to say? So you ultimately, I think of what sacrifices, unfortunately, I have to sometimes put on the back burner, even though I don't mean to.
Yes, ma'am. I think we're going to get into the halftime break, y'all. The song of the week is by, Obel Reed? I'm terrible. And the song's called Hometown Hero. It's really dope. Check him out.
Jump me at, so I'm running back. Keep my old girl at the show, she ain't get her money back. Where's the fun in that? Now I'm beefing with God. Actually, no. And I'm smoking to see what this G's been on. Yup, that's more like it. The only explainable reason it's taking this long and I gotta refocus. Can I rely on the hocus and pocus? It's harder to breathe when I'm under this POTUS. And how do you win when it's money the motive? I started my learning after my diploma and all of these years spending under the bus. They asking moon when you make it. I'm raising my hand like I know it, I know it, I know it. What you do in the city you love don't love you back. What you do when the backs you got don't got your back. Put a pin in all of that effort, tryna put your city on the map. Not the hero they wanted, but the hero they needed so bad. I ain't Superman, I ain't bulletproof. I'ma tell the truth, I be just like you. I don't run the world, but a boy can dream. Just a underdog coming from the underneath. Honestly, my roots deeper than motivational speakers. How come they making their meals and they suddenly don't wanna speak up? The people that meant to be heroes don't even wanna be heroes. Falling in love with the zeros. I ain't even know that the saying reversing that way, but I gotta get working today. Finally ran out of emergency days. I got stomped out, rang out, dry. Still made rehearsal that day. It's a bird, it's a plane, it's a moon. Feeling lost, I don't know what I'm gonna do right now. Said myself, I don't got no one to prove right now. So why does it feel so high pressure? Marvelous, overly confident, I leave the consequences to the copycats. Sacrifice skin on my back. How about you go copy that? All of your problems, you let that bottom, it's up and away. I caught up the mirror, I told him I got it, it's up and away. I ain't Superman, I ain't bulletproof. I'ma tell the truth, I be just like you. I don't run the world, but a boy can dream. Just an underdog coming from the underneath.
Hey y'all, welcome back again. That song was by Obel Reed. I hope I'm saying that boy's name right. He fine. The song is called Hometown Hero. He's got a bunch of bangers out right now, but he just dropped out one, so make sure y'all go check him out. It's on all platforms: YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music. I've been bumping him all week. Just make sure you tap into his EP. I only got a few more questions for Miss Brock, then we're gonna get out of here. But before I do, I just want to let both of y'all, the two people that's sitting in this space with me right now, both of y'all know I'm very thankful for y'all this holiday season. I'm always forever grateful for y'all. Thank you for showing up in my life the way that y'all do, right? As she picking her ear. Thank you for showing up in my life the way you do. I'm over here making beautiful speeches.
When somebody talking about you, your ear is right.
No, that's your hair, punk. And they ain't supposed to be in the same room as you.
It's the ear.
Is that the money thing?
No,
the hand is money.
Oh.
The ear is somebody.
You
talking
literally.
about you.
I thought your ear was ringing. Somebody was talking about you, and I thought they had to be not in the same space.
You making up new rules.
Quan
Nobody said those new.
nodded his head. He knew what the hell I was talking about.
We go
So
take advice from this white man.
yes. Yes,
Crazy.
yes, we are.
It's like I'm playing. I love you, Quan. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Last few episodes back, we had touched on a nurse who committed suicide due to like the mental health crises that is amongst most nurses, and for obvious reasons, right? My mother is in the field. I definitely touched on that when we discussed it. That you are in the nursing field. So how do you feel overall? How is the mental health of the staff that carries a lot of the weight? How is it affected in those environments?
With the nursing shortage, which has been going on since I started nursing, it's stressful. Anybody that sits there and say that it's not is lying. I think COVID really brought it to light. COVID brought it to light so heavy that nurses were dying. Like I think I was blessed because I was doing COVID testing.
Yeah.
And
She went on the floor, yeah.
luckily, none of us caught it. But it's exhausting when you are a nurse and all you doing is pouring into other people. And like I said, that's the biggest thing is we tend to forget to take care of us.
Yeah, I was going to say you forget to.
And with us not taking care of us, things like that happen. And the way she even wrote that letter, and she was like, "Dear abuser," I was like, "Well, damn." I was like,
And it
was directly to the people that you see every day.
It's crazy.
That's why I confront issues head on. We had an issue in the office where the medical director and his husband decided they were going to pop off. And I'm like, and they popped off at the physician that I generally work with. And she was visibly shaken, like she was sitting there. And that's the other thing too, is we in a field that's predominantly male, whether it's gay, bi, whatever, it don't matter. It's still predominantly male. So women don't get as respected as it is. And now keep in mind, the doctor that I work with, this woman went to MIT, graduated with honors at MIT. But to see her visibly shaken by the time I walked into that office, and she was like almost in tears. I'm like, well, what happened? And when she told me the situation or what happened, oh, okay, now they got to deal with me. Because at the end of the day, if you messing with her income, you going to mess with my income. Because guess what? She's a partner. I'm a branch off of her. So that means now we got to have a conversation. Let's just say it was real uncomfortable in the office for the last 2 weeks. Because they have to understand that we do a lot of the work. Nurses, even on the floor, that's all you mostly see. You don't see the doctor. If you do see the doctor, it's for what, 2.3 seconds? The nurse is the one changing your blood, giving you the enema. You know, we are the ones that are out there busting our tails. And again, that leads back to what Miss Wellness said to me when she said, you are in a thankless profession. You are.
That's true.
We are in a thankless profession. You have to have the compassion and the heart to go through with this. And I have that.
Do you feel like a lot of the people from the pandemic, like that started converting to the nursing field, came from money versus the passion?
Yes.
Okay, I just want.
That's the sad part.
I wasn't out there.
I mean,
tripping.
no, that's the sad part. Like we have a family member that been going to nursing school for 4, 5, 900 years.
We ain't gonna do that.
And
We ain't
still
gonna do
have
that.
not.
Not on
and
this
still
podcast.
have not went
Not on
through
this
school.
podcast.
Yes, on this podcast.
Still has not gone through school.
4, 5,
I don't know who she
900
referring
is
to. I don't know the
crazy.
people.
Well, there's actually 2 people.
Well,
I don't know the people.
However, they don't have the passion. They literally went into the profession thinking, "Oh, I'm about to make some money." No, you don't. Nurse, be a first graduate nurse. You'll be lucky if you're making $25 an hour.
Ooh.
Lucky for $25 an hour.
I ain't changing nobody being paying for less than 45.
Oh, honey, that's about 3 years in, maybe 5 years in. But that's the problem is people get into nursing thinking they about to have all of this.
It's gonna be easy money.
It's gonna be easy money, and it's not. It's not. I remember I thought I was cleaning. I had my little white uniform on, and then came our head injury patient, and he taught me from day one. You ain't nothing but a nurse. I'm gonna go ahead and spit this poo on you in your white uniform that I thought was
clean
chocolate,
yourself up and come
that
back.
I thought was chocolate pudding. I was like, oh my God, who gave him chocolate pudding? How did he get in chocolate? And the CNA over there chuckling. She like, nah, dude, that ain't
That's
chocolate
boo-boo.
pudding. That's poo. I'm like,
God.
So yeah, so reality check. No, if you're getting into nursing for money, you're in the wrong field. Period. Point blank.
I say that about teaching too.
Oh yeah, you
I feel like
the passion.
yeah, definitely.
I don't
And
even
it's
like
crazy
kids.
because I seen it's like they've been doing like a little test study or whatever, and they were saying like it's way more failing kids nowadays because the teachers
They
just
not
don't
in the
have the
school
patience.
half the goddamn time.
Yeah, they don't have the
teachers aren't there
patience.
half the time. Her teacher misses at least Hayden's teacher. Shout out to Miss Johnson. I'm talking about you. She misses at least once a week, and then on top of the fact that they have like parent involvement days where they cut off the entire school, so nobody's going to school because they want you as the parent to show up to do their job. No offense, but I ain't go to school for no education. I ain't trying to teach nobody's
I
child
ain't
nothing. I'm
doing
barely
it.
trying to teach mine. So you know what I'm saying? Like it's
And
just
they
like
hire
they're barely
substitute
there. Of
teachers
course.
on Craigslist, so.
Yeah.
They're barely in the school physically. Like they take off so many days, it's not even funny. They got this entire week off. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Why?
I wish I had Friday off.
But that's the crazy part though too is then you get fake nurses. Let me go and put that out there because thanks to Florida, you know, Florida was giving out diplomas like they were candy. And unfortunately, one of the nurses killed somebody. Well, I'm sorry, they weren't a nurse. They didn't go through the education I went through, but they had a piece of paper, but they killed somebody. And that we have to realize that as nurses or anybody in the medical field, that people's lives are in our hands
That's true.
every day. Like whatever decision we make, that can
Could
cost
change their
someone's
life.
life.
That's a fact.
That's almost like a police officer. Every day, our lives are in a police officer's hand. If he's having a bad day, and he decides to pop off and he pulls that trigger, there's nothing that's going to pull or change that situation once that trigger is pulled. Same thing with a nurse. Same thing with a doctor. Same thing as a nurse practitioner. If I'm prescribing a wrong medication, I'm sitting in front of the nursing board.
Facts.
And I'm going to lose my livelihood.
Well, my last question for you this evening is, what are some things you'd like to see for yourself and your children for the coming year?
Let's see. My house redone. Because that's been a whole issue for the last 2 years. That's been a whole issue, and now it's finally resolved. So gonna get my house remodeled. That I'm on the fence if I'm going to buy another house or not. But for my kids, I want y'all to be successful, whatever y'all do. And even if I'm grumbling about it, which I tend to do on
She grumbled about this podcast, y'all. She just got hip to it.
I did. I really did. I was like, you ain't making no money. Why is we doing this?
You spending money?
You spending money? Yeah, it was a whole thing.
What you need to be doing.
It was a whole
And that's
thing.
why I was about logging in her page and getting people to like so they can come on.
So we can start monetizing.
We gotta monetize. We gotta bring the people to monetize.
Because it was a whole conversation. I was like, you ain't making no money. I don't understand what you're doing. But that's the old school mindset. Like, I still get frustrated with some of these younger veterans because I lost some of my hearing and I don't have disability. But
Right.
y'all getting out of the military for leg cramps.
Yeah.
And you getting 5%?
She's sick of us, is what she's
But
saying.
I feel like it's different because we actually start fighting for what we want, and we actually start standing up for like we ain't taking no bull
And
crap.
I commend y'all for that.
I'm
Like,
not
y'all
sitting in no
do.
job for 20 years making the same amount
Right.
the whole time.
Yeah, and I commend y'all for that. Whereas my generation, we were taught you have to work hard in order to get to where you want. And if that meant not rocking the boat, so be it. Now, of course, now that I am who I am, I rock the boat.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
I
for
said,
sure.
the last time, this last couple of weeks in that office, everybody been like, "You
Walking over
okay?
eggshells,
Like,
right?
you okay? How's this? What you want? Why is you in my office?"
That's my
Like,
mother all the way around, though, y'all. That's not just her in the office. That's just her in any kind of space.
Especially if I don't want to be bothered and I've already mentally done shut down on something. What do you want? Why you over here?
I'll be
Right.
testing to see like what kind of mood she in. So I like pop my head in the room. Hey. And if she don't initially look up at me and say, hey, I'm like, oh, she in the mood. Let me go ahead and leave. Let me back out slowly before I get cussed out about something that ain't got nothing to do with me. Well, I want to thank you, Ma, for coming to hang out with
Thank
us. And
you
I'm
for
glad you
having
finally
me.
got to see the studio.
Yeah. It's much different than I thought it would be.
She thought we was in a basement somewhere.
She did. She thought we was in Quan's house in his living room.
Quan was up there saying, hurry up. Behind the camera, he was like,
Quan really recording it on his phone.
right. But
well, I
she's
got
gonna-
some watch for us this week. I don't know if y'all want to see it.
I
I'ma
I
watch
want to see it. I did try to watch The Mill Girl. I fell asleep on that 3 times.
Yeah, I mean, I actually, we had a whole debate about it because I feel like Mom actually liked it working in corporate for so long and
The
trying
Mill?
to please so many people. It's called The Mill. It's on Hulu, and it basically they locked him in this place, but he really wasn't locked in. It was a stimulation, and he had to work harder than what he was supposed to work to get out. But it was no get out because it was a stimulation, and he felt like he was in there for like 15 days, but he was only in there, under the stipulation for like an hour.
oh,
Yeah, so it was
See,
a
I
whole
ain't even
thing.
get to
But
that
they
part.
was, well, yeah, they
You
was
didn't make it
working
that
in.
far.
It was a
Oh.
corporate company that gave him. Basically, you get a deadline for certain things, and you say if you like not patients, you may have patients where how many patients did we get this month? So they say 50. If he made it, they tell him you don't do 50 though. Make it past 50. That's how you gonna get it there, right? He did 150. And he did 370, and so they made his minimum 370. And he was pushing this little brick around. It definitely something to think about because I worked corporate a lot, and it's like, damn, I felt like that before because once one person make over Like
you got to beat that person.
you got to beat that person, and that's like that. Like
That's
if
why
that
they call it
clinic
the
get
rat
more
race.
patients, even though we not joining for patients, but we are because we're a clinic, right? So if that that clinic get more patients and I get more this month, they gonna say, oh, this the stipulation now versus me doing well. And that was the whole thing about. And I was like, dang, it made me think because I'm like, dang, that's really how the corporate.
We got to
works.
finish
And
Black
that-
Cake.
Yeah, and that is how
it's
corporate world.
episodes. It's Mama's. She
I
let us
watched
know
the one
episodes
last
came
night.
out.
Yeah.
every Tuesday. So we ain't watched it. But so I think you should. It was actually knowing your history, you probably look at that like, damn.
When she got
I
time.
really got right when you got time. Probably doing it in snippets.
TV watch her. Like,
Right.
the TV be on, but it don't be watched.
Yeah. Well, Bailey probably watches it more than I probably
Okay,
do.
Baby gonna be up there like he gonna try to tell you sit down. This is the corporate. So this week, it's on Peacock. I'm trying to move it around, some free places and stuff like that, just in case people don't. It's the holidays. People are canceling subscriptions right now. You don't think they are? So this one is on Peacock. It's called The Genie, and it's with my girl Melissa McCarthy. Melissa McCarthy. So let's watch this, and then we'll just watch it later tonight because it came right. But the thing with her, which is that I seen on the preview, it's unlimited. So she just about to be kicking with him for a little while. I think that's gonna be
unlimited. I thought it was 3 wishes.
I did too. So
That's from Aladdin from Disney.
Okay.
So,
Real
the
genies?
real genies
the
got
part the real
unlimited.
genie probably got.
Oh, so like the TV show from the 70s?
Yeah, I think they try to
Yeah.
limit us.
Yeah.
But I feel like the real genie may be out there doing his thing.
Yeah, because there was a show called The Dream of Genie or something.
Dream of Genie. Yeah.
Yeah, and she was just with this guy and she would grant her wishes all the time.
Yeah, so I'm cool with that. Don't give me
Yeah,
stipulations.
that's an old
3
70s
wishes,
show.
you really got to sit down and think about
I'm
that.
not sitting down.
I need
I
at
want
least 30
money,
days.
fame,
But they
fortune.
can't. Money.
And
I
there's
think
money
money
twice.
and love. I think money and love is wealth and love is two of the things
No,
that they
he could
can't
give you
grant.
money.
Oh, okay.
Genie could give you money. He couldn't help you fall in love. He couldn't kill people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no.
All right,
Quan said
so
it's
our
time to-
gag of the week is, so since she asked you, what's the hardest part of being an? Oh shoot, okay.
We gotta go.
Oh shit, I didn't even see what time.
Y'all
oh
have a
shit.
good night. Quan said,
Love
wrap it up. I got things to do.
He's like, ouch.